I'm just gonna. I say we just hit the ground running. Yeah, yeah, hit the ground running, change. Nothing stays the same. Ah, change. Yeah, yeah, hit the ground running. Which was a better band, Van Halen or Kiss? How can you even ask that? Kiss, of course. Who's a better guitar player, Ace Frehley or Eddie Van Halen? Well, I would say Eddie Van Halen's probably technically better, but my favorite's Ace. Actually, you know what? My favorite's Bruce Kulick. Yeah, me too. The great unsung hero of Kiss. Anyway. Hey, sweetie. Yeah? You got a call on line 2. Line 2? I wonder who this could be. BOOZHOO. Welcome to BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO. You're on the air. Hey there, NANABOOZHOO. It's me, Paul Stanley of Kiss. Well, hey, Paul. Sweetie, it's Paul Stanley. Oh, hi, Paul. Hey there, Natasha. Listen, NANABOOZHOO, I wonder if I can request a song. Oh, sure. What song would you like to hear? I want to hear my favorite song by Michael Lyons, the rock star cartoonist. Hey, Paul. Hey there, Michael Lyons. How you doing? I'm doing great. I was wondering if I could hear, Will I Ever See You Again? Yeah, I think we have that. Yeah, I got it queued up. All right, Paul. This is Will I Ever See You Again by Michael Lyons, the rock star cartoonist. Wait, hold on. All right, here you go. This one's for Paul Stanley. All right. This one's called either Will I Ever See You Again or Never Coming Back Here Again. And I remember a day and you and me in a pouring rain, water ran down my chin. So I pulled you close and I drank it in, but I remember your ways. And you and me in a sad embrace, and I remember a place where you pulled me close and you kissed my face. Will I ever see you again? No, I don't think I'll ever see you again. Yeah. And I remember a night and the casual fight by candlelight as the room grew dim. You lied to me when you talked about him, but I remember your ways. And you and me in a sad embrace, and I remember a place where you pulled me close and you kissed my face. Will I ever see you again? No, I don't think I'll ever see you again. I remember your ways and you and me in a sad embrace. I remember a place where you pull me close, where you kiss my face. Will I ever see you again? No, I don't think I'll ever see you again. Will will I ever see you again? No, I don't think I'll ever see you again. Oh, Michael. That was awesome, Michael Lyons. Hey, thanks a lot, Paul. Don't go away. I'm begging you to stay. Oh, here's our commercial. 'Cause I'm gonna miss your love. Please don't go. Oh, really? Why? Because I'm gonna miss your love. The minute you walk out that door. But I gotta go to work, honey. No, I'm gonna miss your love the minute you walk out that door. Hey, everybody. Okay. Won't you consider becoming a patron? Patron?
No, that's not right.
Patron.
Yeah.
I can't even say it. Please become a patron saint. And support BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. Click the links in the description to our Patreon page. And if you become a $25 a month BOOZHOO Crew member, it's an exclusive club. It's going to cost you some junia, some money. No. You'll get a coffee cup.
Oh,
you can put your black medicine water in there. Muckade mush kiki wabu. Muckade mush kiki. See, you're already learning Ojibwe. BOOZHOO Crew. Where can I become a member of the BOOZHOO Crew, NanaBOOZHOO? Just click the link in the description. It goes to our Patreon page. $25 a month. You can afford it. I sure can. I sold a guitar today. Yeah, I know. It's never enough with these guys. Yeah. So what else is going on in your life? Well, you know, I'm just rocking and rolling all night, partying every day. Trying to learn the Ojibwe word of the day. What is the Ojibwe word of the day, NanaBOOZHOO? Oh, today is Ojibwe word of the day. Happy and sad, I think we're talking about. Happiness and sadness. Minawanagwad is happiness. Minawanagwad, happiness. Yeah. And then Osita Wendam is sadness. Osita Wendam, sadness. You know, NanaBOOZHOO, I know something about sadness. Do you really? Yes, it's true. You know, I had my heart broke, and I was like, oh, baby, baby, I still love you, yeah. Is that what you said? Yeah, I felt really sad. I had deep Osita Wendam. Very good Ojibwe there. Osita Wendam, sadness. But then, you know, we got our first gold record, and we started to tour, and then I knew real happiness. How do you say that? Minawanagwad. Minawanagwad. Yeah. Happiness. You know what happiness is? What's that? Rocking and rolling all night and partying every day. Yeah, okay. What? I said, okay. Well, I can't hear you. I said, okay. Oh, I can't hear you. Gold gin. I said, I got to go. Okay. Well, hey, how do you say goodbye in Ojibwe? Well, you know, Paul, we don't really say goodbye. We say, Gigawaba min. Minawa. I will see you again. Well, Gigawaba min. Minawa, Nanaboozhoo. I'll see you again. All right. Paul Stanley, sweetie. He's so awesome. Yeah. Gigawaba min. Hoa, sweetie. What's that? You know who's first in class? Is it John Redcord again? Yep. Hey, John, what's going on? Gold star for John. And a gold star goes to John. Yep. Okay. Somebody's headphones just fell off. Yeah. So get a gold star by John. BOOZHOO, John. And Vincent Zach's back. Hey, BOOZHOO, Vincent. How about a silver star? Silver star for the Zach man. BOOZHOO, Vincent. Welcome to the show. And who will be the third place, the coveted bronze star holder? Next person says BOOZHOO in the chat. You'll get a bronze star by your name. Huh, sweetie? You tell him. Well, I'm not. I'm not like challenging. Hey, next one. The threat. Yeah. Hey, John just gave us $5, sweetie. Hey, miigwech, John. Miigwech, John. Really appreciate it. You're too needy. He gave us some of that Junia. Junia, money. Junia. So, for today, we got a kind of an interesting request. What's that? Somebody wrote in and asked me to talk about Jesus. About Jesus? Give me Jesus. Give me Jesus. You can have this whole world. Give me Jesus. One of the weirdest things I think about the whole Jesus story. There's a couple of things that I've never really understood. Is his name really Jesus? Of course it's Jesus. Read your Bible. Well, yeah, I know, but then I hear these rumors that, no, his name's Yeshua. Come on. What, you think he was Puerto Rican? And I'm like, what? No. I don't know. People say God's name isn't even God. It's Yahweh or something crazy. But, we're always talking about Gitchimanadu and prayer. We pray a lot on the show. Yeah, we do. We pray almost every day. Yeah. And I'm always talking about, walking the red road and this and that. And the reality is, I don't even want to call myself a Christian. Jesus wasn't a Christian. I wish there was a different religion that followed the teachings of Jesus, loved Jesus, followed the commandments, called themselves like Jesusians or something. Because, I don't know. So anyway, I was thinking about going outside, putting out some tobacco, asking the Creator, but I don't know, maybe I should just talk about it. What does C. Norcross want? Hey, BOOZHOO, C. Norcross. And there's our Bronze Star winner. Yep, Bronze Star for C. Norcross. The C is for cool. BOOZHOO, see? And Jim's here. Well, BOOZHOO, Jim. I'm going to put a little heart by Jim's name. You're just going to put a little heart in that red Sharpie marker? Yeah, because we don't have any stars after bronze. Yeah. BOOZHOO, Jim. Good to see you. Vincent Zach says, Michael, the sparkling light, he who is looked upon. Oh, wow. Michael, you're a sparkling light. When my hair is greasy, it sometimes shines. Yeah, there you go. I think, I got a theory. There's like 110 people watched my little video on my vision. Yeah. I thought that was kind of cool. Because to tell you the truth, sweetie, I don't know if I saw God or if I actually saw Jesus. But somebody wrote in, they were like, hey, can you talk about the connection between Jesus and traditional Indian spirituality? I'm like, oh, wow. That's a tall order. That sounds like a TED Talk. Either a TED Talk or like a sermon at one of these Indian ministries. You know, the Craig Smiths out there. Oh, on eagle's wings. Hi, we're onward Christian Indian warriors. Yeah. But it's, since somebody asked, they didn't give me tobacco. You should have given me tobacco to talk about such things. But it's hard to do on the internet. Yeah. But I just thought, might as well. Can't dance. So, here's my story. Back in the days of the grandfathers. Number one, it was my grandmother who used to always say, might as well can't dance. You see, my grandma was the one who brought Jesus into our family. Back in the days of the grandfathers, the first non-Indian people that had contact with Indian people, with Ojibwe speakers, just general Anishinaabe, were the Jesuit priests, whatever that is. Catholic priests or Protestant missionaries. And they were the first guys to learn the language, to write the dictionaries, to actually learn and document what Indian people were like on first contact. It sounds like aliens. Yeah, back in first contact with the aliens from England or France or Italy or wherever they were from. And when they brought with them, silver, not silver, but steel. They gave us steel knives, guns, and we already had tobacco and coffee, I think. Dances with Wolves makes it look like the white people introduced us to coffee. But I think we already had coffee. I thought we drank tea. Yeah, we probably did both. The French. Yeah, it was probably the French brought us the French roast. Yeah. Anyway, so back in the days of the grandfathers, pre-European contact, the story goes is we didn't know about Jesus. But we knew about God. We called him Gitche Manadu, the Great Spirit. And we prayed, and we followed the laws of the Creator. We didn't have a book called the Gagikwe Minawana Goes. No, what is it called? Gagikwe Mazini-igan. Gagikwe Mazini-igan is called the Bible. And the preach book. But so it was like when we first met non-Indian people, not the English speakers and the French speakers, they brought with them the Bible and they started to teach about Jesus. And they told us a story of a time back in the ancestor days when Gitche Manadu sent his son. He made a human woman named Mary pregnant. We don't know how. It's none of my business. But Mary gets pregnant, has Gitche Manadu's son in a manger. Some wise men come and give him gold for some reason. Here you go. Oh, what would be a good baby gift? I know. How about some frankincense and myrrh? And the third wise man was like, I'm going to give him some cash. This couple looks broke. They couldn't even, they couldn't even afford to go to the hospital. They had to have a baby in a manger. But, so then Jesus grows up and he's got some half brothers and sisters there. He's got a little brother named James. And you know how like brothers are, little brothers are always following their big brother's example. There's sometimes some sibling rivalry there. And it was hard on James. Everybody forgets poor little brother to Jesus. You know, Jesus was just good at everything. He's better in sports. He could walk on water. James could hardly swim. Everybody would always compare him to Jesus. Why can't you be more like your brother Jesus? It was tough. In fact, this isn't in the Bible, but you know that in the Bible they say the first time Jesus ever did a miracle is when he turned water into wine. The family gets invited to a wedding. And they go to this wedding, it's Mary and Jesus and James and, some cousins and whatever. And in those days, weddings were even a bigger deal than they are now. People would party for days. And it'd be a big feast and, whole family, it was very, very important that you go to the wedding. So they go to the wedding and everything's great. And, but what happens? 9, 10 o'clock rolls around. They drunk up all the wine. And they're like, oh, crap. This party was just getting started. We're all out of wine. So Mary, she pulls Jesus aside and she goes, listen, my boy, this party is going to dry up if we don't have any wine. You think you can, do your little thing? And Jesus is like, oh, come on, Mom. I don't think it's time yet. She goes, come on, do this for me, my boy. Honor your mother and father, And so Jesus is like, all right. And he prays and poof, water into wine. And the dad grabs a glass of wine and he drinks it down. He's like, oh, wow, this is really good wine. Man, usually, this is actually in the Bible. He goes, usually people, they put out the good wine at first and save the crap for after everybody's drunk. We're all drunk, and this is the best wine I've ever tasted in my whole life. And I'm an alcoholic. No, he didn't say that, but. And I always thought that was cool. They're like, of course, when Jesus makes some wine, it's going to be just, just the finest wine. But, so then, the party on and whatever. Next weekend, same thing. New couples getting married. The Joseph and Mary family get invited. But this time, Jesus is gone now. He had to leave. But James is there. And, the wedding happens. They have the feast, the dancing and all this stuff. And they drink up the wine. And same thing happens. They run out of wine. And the guys are like, hey, James. Yeah? We're out of wine. What do you want me to do about it? No. Yeah. So, last weekend, your brother Jesus, he really kind of saved the party. Yeah, I know. I'm not him, okay? I can't do that stuff. I'm just James. Oh, poor James. Yeah. So people always had, James disappointed a lot of people by not being more like his brother Jesus. So then, kids, Jesus goes off, and now it's when the Bible gets interesting. And it's amazing to me how little the church has ever talked about the cool stories when I was growing up. The old Genesis is cool. There's lots of stories of giants and battles and floods and crazy stuff that goes on. Churches never want to talk about that. And then Jesus, they love talking about when Jesus gets crucified. But there's cool stuff before that where it's like The Exorcist. He's casting out demons. He's healing people. He's starting to get a following. People are starting to treat him like a rock star. He gets up there. If Jesus was, he's alive in heaven now, but if Jesus was here today, he'd have a podcast. He would just start talking and crowds would gather and he'd tell them, hey, you guys be good. And guess what? God's real. He's my Father. And, you straighten up. Good news. Preparing a place for you. He was all about good news. But these silly Christian churches, all they can talk about is, he died for your sins. It's like, you mean he died? What? What do you mean by that? He died for your sins. So if you believe in this story, you will go to heaven. If you do not believe in the story we're telling you, you will go to hell. You're like, what? How does this work? But, you hear this when you're a little kid and you're afraid to question it, But I finally understood, in America, we don't use the word for like they do in England and stuff. What do you mean? Well, in England, they'll say, like, what was that Bowie song? Only for you, I don't regret that I was Thursday's child. Oh, yeah. Only for you. For can also mean because of you. So Jesus died because of the sins of the world. Now, I wasn't born yet. I'm not saying I don't have, I haven't inherited the original sin of jealousy and an ego and stuff. But Jesus was crucified because of the sins of the people who crucified him. Not because of the descendants 2,000 years later did anything. But anyway, so he goes around healing people, telling people to love each other, share, to, walk the good road, to, love God and quit your lying and don't go blowing your money at the casinos, whatever. and they didn't like him for that. And so they crucified him. They hung him up on a cross. And they stabbed him and stuff. And I came to realize this year that I think the most horrible pain of all that was that the big sin we all have is selfishness, is jealousy, whatever. I think, people talk like when Jesus was crucified, everybody hated him. And we're shouting at him, how dare you tell me you love me, But I don't think it was that at all. I think the people were like they are today, where he happened to get crucified, but most people didn't even pay attention. They're like, oh, what happened? Oh, did Mary's boy he shouldn't have run his mouth. And they went back to their lives, unaffected. Now, all these years later, this whole merry band of, men in tights or men in robes, the 12 disciples, they get treated like they're gods too. But each one of them kind of betrayed Jesus. They didn't try to protect him at all. They never understood what he was really about. They didn't really believe he was God's son. But there you go. So, Indian people. There you go, kids. Just because I know even if your grandma is dragging you to church, you probably never were told a straight answer of who Jesus was and what it's all about. Jesus said there's a heaven when you die. If you're good, you go to heaven. If you're bad, I think he said you go to hell. Yeah, he's God's son. And he walked around earth many years ago and told us all about heaven and stuff like that. When I had my vision, I became aware of a bunch of stuff. But the one thing I'm not really sure of, like I was sitting next to what I always say I thought was God. And I couldn't see his face. But I kind of knew that he was the most handsome man you could imagine. But you could imagine it. Super buff, and we were giants. And he kind of looked like this, only about 20 years older. He looked like he was a 45-year-old, 50-year-old guy who was also like a superhero body. Like ridiculously. I mean, you couldn't tell. You just kind of knew. It glowed golden. But now when I think about my vision, I'm not so sure. It might have been Jesus. This is just the guy, the guy who painted this didn't really know. Because it looked like this, only what you might picture this guy's dad looking like. Like super handsome dad. And I was also made aware of just how great, like everything is on a scale of greatness to not great. And God's at the top of everything. But you can picture him, If you can take the most beautiful thing, multiply it by 5, there, The funniest person in the world by 5. He's super irreverent. I figured that out in the few seconds I was with him. Because God is the greatest thing ever. You can't even compare. Everything is a version of him, but a lesser version. But the problem is, when you're the greatest and you're the creator of everything, nothing impresses you. Nothing makes you go, whoa, I really respect this little gnat. It's like I mentioned in that other video. Remember that scene in the, what you call it? Not the X-Men. The Watchmen? Yeah, the Watchmen. That blue, godlike Dr. Manhattan or whatever. Yeah. He goes, the world's smartest man is no more of a threat to me than its smartest termite. That's what God's like. But he loves the termites. He loves, like Jesus was his only son, but everybody else is like a daughter to him. Even the guys. There's one son, but then he made the rest of us, or the other children. And, this is his boy. This is the guy. This is the king's son. Right? But I got the sense that he loves all the other children just as much. And it's kind of like having a daughter who is making all the wrong decisions in life. Yeah. And you just wish she wouldn't behave that way. And it breaks your heart to see her carrying on, and she'll march her way right into the pits of hell. And he doesn't want that for anybody. But, that's how he feels about it. So it's not like I was told where God's up there judging and kind of annoyed with all of us. Like, oh, he's doing it again. Look at him. He's smoking a cigarette. It's not like that. So, but the Indian Christian connection. So a lot of people, when I was in college, were like, oh, those dirty missionaries and the dirty boarding schools that brainwashed us, our proud Indian ancestors, into becoming Christians. Because that's what happened too, by the way. The amount of people who didn't convert to Christianity was a small minority of Indian people. And you can tell today, I mean, for people over 60, way more of them are Christian than not. People, Gen Xers and younger, are all a bunch of heathens, but, So it's been my feeling recently that what happened, Indian people heard about Jesus, and it made sense. They believed it. It wasn't about brainwashing. It wasn't about evil nuns coercing. We're not that dumb. That's the story of forcibly converting Native Americans into Christianity is pretty insulting to Indians. So I feel like it was kind of one of these things. One thing about Ojibwe culture, and all Indian culture, is that we integrated new stuff immediately. Nobody was concerned with, hey, let's stay true and pure to our, original culture. No, as soon as new technologies came, you ever notice how, like, Indians stopped wearing moccasins as soon as the cowboy boot got introduced? Because it was a better shoe. We didn't stick with bows and arrows when we got rifles, Yeah. And when all this organized religious teachings or whatever was talking about the afterlife, God, and sure, the story of Jesus, what's wrong, that doesn't threaten anything about Indian people that this happened. I think the Indian people saw the truth of it, and that's all there was. They made a big deal in the 70s when they passed the Indian Religious Freedom Act. And they said, here's a new law. From now on, Indians, you are free to perform sweat lodge ceremonies. And I remember when I went to my first sweat lodge, I was like, oh, this is cool. These guys have never stopped doing this ceremony in hundreds of years. Then they're like, no, we just started doing this in the 80s. It's like, what? It's like, this is America. Nobody was keeping Indian people from doing sweat lodges and stuff. Just there weren't that many people who were interested in it. They were going to church. I don't know. But again, here's a law where Big Daddy government gives us the right to do something. Oh, thank you for making it legal for me to smoke marijuana. I guess I'll try it for the first time now. It's like, I never asked for your permission. I'm not like happy about what's going on in Red Lake. About the dispensary? Yeah. I'm not unhappy. I just don't care. But anyway, and this has been the story of Jesus. To the best of my recollection. To learn more about the Son of God, I don't know. I would tell you to go to church, but I don't know what they're teaching the kids these days. Okay. Let's see. What's the BOOZHOO crew talking about? The Vikings came before the French. Yeah, what about Leif Garrett? You make me feel like dancing. Was that the song? You got a cute way of talking. Leif Garrett was a Viking and a singer. Gichi manadu odapana niwi asema miigwech. Hoa. Hello, Great Spirit. BOOZHOO gichi manadu. Please accept my tobacco. Daga odapana niwi asema. Thanks for everything that you do today. Miigwech kaiji kakina keku. Kaiji chikean nungo. It is also believed that the Chinese came to the west coast of America. I would not be... Oh, the west coast. Yeah, it sure seems like it, huh? Like, who built San Francisco? You can't trust the official story. Oh, yeah, there's gold in them thar hills. It looks like San Francisco was built a long time before the cowboys got out there in the 1700s or whatever. It is also believed that the Chinese crossed the land bridge. I've never looked at a map about the frozen land bridge. I've heard Indian people say, oh, no, that never happened, because we don't have a story of doing a great migration across the ice. It's like, we don't have a story about most things that happened. You know? Ship scientists found ancient Chinese anchors off the coast of California. Oh, is that right? Yep, well, there you go. Ojibways are the original ones. The rest are just half-breeds. He just called you a half-breed, Michael. Hey, them are fighting words. I call you a Wisakode Winini. Yeah, I like that. Wisakode Winini is a person of mixed ancestry. Not a half-breed, you're racist. What breed are you? Oh, I'm part German Shepherd, part Labrador Retriever. I wonder if Jesus came to the Turtle Island. That would have been some swim. But who knows? That's the thing, the weird thing. There's some, I think there's stories about him walking to like China or something. There's, I don't remember anymore. But I want to say that there's a monk village or something that has a story in their history of when Jesus came to town and taught them stuff. Again, there's more not written about Jesus' life in the Bible than is written. How about anything before he was 33 years old? We go right from him getting lost in Jerusalem or something. How's that go? When Jesus was like 12 or 13 or something, he goes into town with Mary and Joseph and just takes off. They turn around, they're like, hey, what happened to Jesus? What? Jesus. And he's gone. I saw this one comedian once who goes, that must have been an embarrassing call to make. Because, the first thing Mary and Joseph would have done is pray. And so that's kind of like making a call to the biological dad, and you're the foster parents. Yeah. Hey, hello, God. Yeah, listen, your son that we're raising? We brought him into town and, he's missing now. Can you see him from up there? Tell us where he is. But so they look around, they find him preaching to these elders in the church or something. And they're like, oh, what are you doing in here? And he goes, where'd you think I'd be? At the playground? No. I got to tell these old so-called spiritual men what the Debwaywen is, what the truth is. And he's laying down truth. And people couldn't believe that this little guy was so wise. Then, nothing. We don't hear about him being a teenager, a young adult. We don't know if he ever dated. Did he ever fall in love? Could he love? I think so. Yeah, I think he did. I think he loved everybody. What kind of life did Jesus have before that wedding? Jesus comes back on a scene and he's already grown up. First thing he does is he goes and gets baptized. That's when the Bible says, okay, and then yada yada yada. Now, it's 30 years later. What? But so I don't know. I wonder if Jesus told the natives that he will return. So any day now. Did he really? I know, I keep on looking up in the sky. Can't come soon enough for me. All right. What do you think, sweetie? You want to get over here? Do you want me to get up there? Only if you want to. Well, sure, I'll get up there. I'm going to let Natasha say, Ikadon BOOZHOO. Ikadon BOOZHOO, say hello. Say hello, Ikadon BOOZHOO. So, miigwech, gabiz and dawieg. Thank you for listening. And this over here is Michael Lyons. Oh, wow, you're getting sweaty. Yeah, I know. I had those windows closed all day because of the smoke. Hello, everybody. BOOZHOO. My name is Michael Lyons. And I'm the creator of BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO. And in a minute, we're going to get Natasha. Like to say chi miigwech, a big thank you to Gwen Carley for signing up on Patreon. Gwen, thank you so much. I don't see you here yet, but if you see this later, we really appreciate it. And Christine Berry, thank you so much. Christine and Gwen both signed up on Patreon to keep us afloat, to keep the lights on and the water running in this house. And coffee. I really appreciate it. Whoop. I guess she's over here. You ready to go on, Natasha? I'm ready for love. And so if you're new to the show, this is Natasha. We'll be coming to a school near you this fall, next month. We do live shows. And Natasha is always kind of the biggest hit. I was mentioning the other day how we're going to be doing a show in Hayward, Wisconsin in a few weeks. And I've been trying to think about what the act should be like. Because it's kind of like doing... I won't be doing a puppet show. It'll look just like this, but just in real life. But you have to sort of come up with a set like a stand-up comedian would, or a ventriloquist or something. And I have a lot of ideas of different stories we might tell and songs we'll sing. But the one thing I knew for sure is that Natasha is going to open the show. Because I get very nervous when I have to just be myself. Like, I'm not that comfortable right now talking. But when I do the Natasha character, it's super easy, and she has a way of just starting shows well. BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO Neiman Wandom Omanungum. Yeah. Okay, baby doll, you've got a BOOZHOO. Natasha Nindish. Natasha's my name. And what? Nothing. Today's a giveaway. Oh, you know what? We were going to talk about before you became an Indian minister. Yeah, no kidding. Whoops, that's not the phrase. Gigawaba man, minawa. And I just walk away. Happiness and sadness. Sweetie, can you teleport me outside so I can talk about this stuff? Sure. I wonder if we're still set up in a good way for this. What do you mean? I don't know. This could look stupid. Okay. I'm going to step outside, say a little prayer. Talk to the creator. All right, 1 to teleport. Make it so, number 1. Nah. Oh, wow. Well, BOOZHOO, Beneshiag. Hello, birds. Got some birds up here. What's going on? Oh, yeah? Nah, I was just going to talk about some stuff. I don't know. I kind of figured I'd come up with something once I was out here. Yeah, I got to put on my tobacco first. Got to offer some tobacco to Creator. So, real quickly, hello, Great Spirit. BOOZHOO, get Chimanadu. Please accept my tobacco. To ka otapanani wi asema. Thanks for everything that you do today. Miigwech ka ishi ka kinakeku. Ka ishi chikayan nungum. Amen. Mapenge. And, yeah. Such a mystery. I heard once, and I don't think this is true, but when I was a little girl, they told me, you know, Gitchimanadu actually means the great mystery. Manadu means mystery? I don't think so. But it is pretty mysterious. I didn't... You know, I'm a college girl, okay? I went to college. And I used to be quite the liberal. If I can be honest with you. I was a bit of a social justice warrior. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I was going to fight against racism. And I wanted to fight against homophobia. And, you know, I went to a liberal arts college. And I always voted for the Democrats. Except when Winona LaDuke ran with Ralph Nader. Remember that? We were like, hey, we're going to get an Indian woman as vice president. Right on, sister. I voted for her. But, you know, then I got older. But when I was at the height of my, you know, girl power or whatever, I could never quite become a full-on atheist. I really tried. I went to college. I learned about Buddhism. I learned about traditional Indian ways. I learned about... I had learned a lot about Christianity. And I learned about science. Back to that. I was really into science. You know, I was into aliens and Star Trek. You know. And I respected science. I thought, well, that's the only class that's actually not political. Science. And then I woke up and went, oh, wait, no, science is 100% political. Natural science isn't. But anything like physics, physicists, you don't need a physicist. It's just math. But they co-opted the word science when they talk about outer space. And everything theoretical science, that is a religion and a political movement to discredit Christianity and the Bible. Now, Christians are so stupid, they didn't even know it. They were like, yeah, you guys are great. Teach my kids science. This contradicts my religion, but we don't care. You know, the only Christians I respect anymore are, who are those guys the Mennonites? They make their own clothes and they have big families. Oh, and the Amish. I don't even know what YouTube is. But I really tried. My logical brain said, well, this is silly. There's no way there can be a God. Science has proven it's just natural selection and random Big Bang and whatever. But something, my soul, my spirit, something just wouldn't let me go. And in recent years, I know I'm not the only one. Are you guys like this at all? Does it seem like The heat's been turned up in the spiritual realm. Do you feel kind of like, even if you don't understand it or you can't quite put your finger on it, that something's going on? I do. You know, if you read the news, you'll think it's the end of the world. And I think it might be. I don't know. Thanks, I suppose. Yeah. I've also, if I'm being honest, I don't think it's I'm not going to say I'm easily swayed, but I can be brainwashed. I can be led into what I find out later are cults. You know, I can get into like charismatic teachers and go, wow, this guy is really laying down some truths. For a number of years, I was part of a cult. I didn't know I was part of a cult. I thought I was just reading a spiritual teacher. But he became like Jesus to me. His name was Jiddu Krishnamurti. And it took years to finally deprogram and realize, oh no, he's just another one of these weird cult leaders. Buddhism, sitting meditation, that whole practice. You know, you got to be suspicious of religions that don't want to call themselves a religion. Oh no, Buddhism isn't a religion. It's just a philosophy in a way. Oh, Scientology. No, it's science. Well, why do you call it the Church of Scientology? Never mind. Come see Mission Impossible number 25 or whatever it's up to now. No, thank you. I don't need to see 70-year-old Tom Cruise anymore. That's enough, Tom. Get off the motorcycle. You're going to hurt yourself. Does Tom Cruise drive mini bikes, but they look like real motorcycles in his movies? Because he looks like a normal-sized person in the movie. I don't know how they pull that off. Remember that time Tom Cruise was in a Mission Impossible movie with the actor who played Superman? And that guy's like 6'2". And Tom Cruise is like 5'2". But they get into a fight. They fight this guy in the bathroom. And you would swear they're the same size. They got Tom Cruise like in the foreground. He's wearing, Paul Stanley boots. And they're like, okay, action. Don't shoot Tom's feet. These are fighting. This little guy. But whatever. I guess I'll go back. See you later, Beneshiag. I gotta go home. Yeah. No, I'll be back tomorrow. I will see you again. Gigo Abamin. Mirawa. Boop, 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 boop. Bleep, bleep. Bleep, bleep. Bonjour. Hi, sweetie. You ready to come in? Yeah, can you pick me up? You got it. Let's see, scanning for your coordinates. Okay. And that's 1 to teleport. Make it so, number 1. No. Hey. Well, hi. I wasn't outside. Oh, it's beautiful. I like how it teleports me into a sitting position. Yeah. When I teleported out there, I had to put my feet down and be standing. But here I'm sitting. Yeah. Oh, you got me a cup of coffee, me quetch. Oh, no problem. Oh, that's really good coffee, sweetie. That's Folger's French roast. Folger's French roast. The best part of waking up is Folger's in your cup. No. All right. So, what do you think, Rockstar? Is that enough? I think it's good. Want to add anything before I land the plane? No, I just told me I said thanks. Okay. Hey, everybody. Just want to say, Miigwech Bisandawieg. Thank you for listening. Dush, Miigwech Ganawabieg. And thank you for watching BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. I am Natasha. This over here is NANABOOZHOO. Okay, Miigwech. This over here is Michael Lyons, the rock star cartoonist. Thanks so much, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow. And I will see you again. Gigawabamin. Minoa. Oh. Sunny day, baby doll.